You don't want to get trapped by the narcissist. You must know these 5 narcissism code words. It's typical to label as narcissist those people in our life that we find difficult to deal with, often leading to judgment and isolation. It's crucial to avoid making snap judgments about people based on labels that do not do them justice. Some people prefer alternative phrases that don't highlight narcissism as a defining issue or a choice of style. One common approach is to describe someone's hidden, darker side as their shadow, which assumes that there must also be a positive side. This idea of the shadow originates from Carl Jung's psychological model. Jung believed that the shadow comprises both negative and normal parts of our personality that we repress due to guilt or discomfort. However, when we project those negative emotions onto other people or situations, it can lead to issues. According to Jung, everyone has a shadow, and the problem is the repression and projection of that shadow. In order to become more accepting of our shadow, we need to view ourselves holistically. Numerous books based on Jungian analytic models and therapies that explore the shadow concept are available for those interested in further understanding. Despite its usefulness, the shadow idea can appear to promote a shame-filled, negative personality style that one might associate with narcissism. Many individuals discussing the concept of shadows or dark sides aren't necessarily experts in Jungian analytic theory. It's common to equate narcissism with darkness, or the shadow that resides within us all, which trivializes the harmful and toxic effects of this personality style. This oversimplification creates an illusion of intellectual curiosity that fails to address the actual damage and pain caused by the narcissistic behavior. Individuals who have experienced the shadow self in their lives may seek comfort through understanding the concept. However, they may also feel invalid in their anger and hurt for verbal abuse, as they believe they too possess a dark side. Narcissistic individuals often utilize this phenomenon to justify their negative behaviors, striving to shift blame onto others to avoid responsibility. The portrayal of narcissism as a dark, seductive, and dangerous trait might romanticize the issue, which can make it more appealing to some individuals. Realizing that narcissism is more than just a mental health problem, and that it involves introspection, acceptance, and empathy is crucial. In certain contexts, hurt people is used to describe the behavior of narcissistic individuals without identifying them as such. Although it may offer insight into the complexities of human behavior, this phrase risks becoming an excuse for harm. It's important to keep in mind that not all victims become abusive perpetrators, and that those who do harm can take steps to make apologies. The concept of hurt people can be an indicator of abusive behavior, including entitlement, invalidation, and lack of empathy. It is important to remember, though, that not everyone with a painful past goes on to injure others. Many people who have experienced pain actively strive to be mindful and empathetic toward others. Focusing on the hurt people phenomenon can be a simplistic way of addressing the unacceptable nature of narcissistic behavior. The therapeutic community has been known to use this framework to contextualize bad behavior, which may leave the survivor of emotional abuse doubting or judging themselves, while not fully addressing the pain inflicted by the abuser. Senses of entitlement, incivility, anger, frustration, and rage are all on the rise in today's society. Such conduct can be extremely poisonous, and its harmful effects on those around the offender must be recognized. There is a belief that individuals exhibiting anger and toxic behavior are simply hurt individuals, but such behavior remains toxic nonetheless. Rather than focusing on the why or rationalizing such actions, it's crucial to focus on how this behavior negatively impacts others and develop strategies to manage such situations. Excusing narcissistic behavior because of past hurt gives permission for such actions to continue, rather than creating an environment for change. Although individuals with narcissistic tendencies may have experienced pain in their past, not all hurt people engage in harmful behavior, and those who do often make amends. Discussing narcissism from the hurt people framework fails to create the opportunity for change and offers permission for abusive behavior to continue. As a therapist, acknowledging and empathizing with the pain someone may have experienced while also calling out their invalidation of others is critical. Rather than oversimplifying the issue, Understanding the complexity of how hurt individuals may exhibit harmful behavior is essential to support positive changes. Understanding the distinctive experiences and activities of people involved is necessary to provide a sympathetic and encouraging atmosphere for those who are impacted by harmful habits. Using the term difficult to describe individuals with narcissistic personalities can be harmful and confusing, as it lacks clinical implications and is subject to interpretation by others. While using difficult may make discussing narcissism more approachable, it fails to convey the severity of the situation and can lead to criticism for using an inappropriate word. In addition, the term difficult can obfuscate the gravity of a person's actions and their propensity to harm others. Rather than focusing on making someone seem more human, it's essential to address the abusive behavior and support those impacted by it. People who encourage narcissistic behavior may be more interested in learning about difficult people than narcissists, but this is not helpful in resolving the harm brought on by such behavior. Instead, it is essential to recognize the gravity of the situation and take steps to control or cease harmful behavior. Life presents many challenges, from solving puzzles to performing jobs. Even while the word difficult may appear less dangerous, it is insufficient to characterize the circumstance. Having a narcissist in our midst can be a significant challenge, as they present no benefit while negatively affecting those around them. Although the word difficult can be used broadly, it can also lead to misconceptions and incorrect interpretations. Continuously complaining about a challenging individual may make others think you cannot handle them and give up. Labeling something as difficult may also make individuals question their abilities and underestimate the severity of the situation. The description of narcissists' destructive behavior as difficult is frequently used, yet it falls short of portraying the full degree of the harm they wreak. Framing their behavior as a result of past wounds may make it seem less dire and enable abusive behavior to continue. Instead of downplaying the damage a narcissist's actions has created, it is essential to recognize the seriousness of the problem and take action to remedy it. A narcissist's abusive behavior, such as manipulating conversations, exhibiting callousness, lying and cheating, contains a kernel of truth. However, it's essential to acknowledge the comprehensive picture of narcissistic personality traits, rather than describing them in segmented ways. Trauma, broken attachments, and inconsistency during their formative years often cause lasting damage in most narcissists. They were not taught how to manage emotions and self-soothe, leading to their behavior. While it's common for people to sympathize with a narcissist's destructive behavior by pointing to their past trauma, the true tragedy lies in how they hurt those around them. Narcissistic abuse survivors often place the blame for their suffering on themselves, rather than criticizing the narcissist's behavior. However, portraying the narcissist as a victim neglects the bigger picture of their manipulation, gaslighting, lack of empathy, callousness, hubris, control, and neglect that causes harm to those around them. It's crucial to understand the comprehensive picture of narcissistic behavior and address it accordingly. Often, people fixate on the injured area, believing that treating it will stop the undesirable behavior. However, reverting to cognitive dissonance and trauma bonding, when describing a person exhibiting narcissistic behavior as wounded, is problematic for survivors. They may feel guilty for wanting to sever ties with a narcissist and hesitate to label them as toxic, difficult, or narcissistic. While it's not incorrect to describe someone with pervading narcissistic behavior as wounded, it fails to account for the harm caused to others. Instead, the focus is shifted to the abuser's pain, neglecting the patterns causing problems for everyone involved. It's concerning to observe entire industries catering to narcissistic behavior, with little acknowledgement of the harm it causes. Despite treatment, a narcissist's abusive behavior will resurface under stress, frustration, or disappointment. It's crucial to address the comprehensive nature of narcissistic behavior and prioritize the harm caused to those around them. Even if it's true that a lot of narcissists have gone through trauma, it's crucial to realize that this isn't the only reason for their interpersonal tendencies. Cognitive dissonance, self-blame, and a lack of empathy might result from viewing a narcissist as a wounded person. It's crucial to acknowledge that many seemingly kind and considerate people could be wounded and empathetic, making them easy targets for narcissists. Empathy is essential, but it cannot excuse a narcissist's unkind behavior. Their suffering is personal, and nobody should attempt to ease it. Being their emotional punching bag will not help them, nor is it anyone's job to fix them. Enabling statements like "they are so misunderstood" are often used to evoke pity for the narcissist. However, these statements maintain the enabler's delusions and fantasies about the narcissist. In the field of mental health, similar aphorisms are prevalent, where understanding a narcissist is deemed the key to getting through to them. This isn't always the case, though. Enablers often blame the victim of narcissistic abuse for failing to comprehend their tormentor. Narcissistic abuse survivors are often overly sensitive and accommodating because of their empathy, leading them to blame themselves for not understanding the narcissist better. In conclusion, understanding the harmful words and behaviors of enablers is crucial for individuals and their families to navigate the complexities of narcissism. Empathy and understanding are crucial for healing and recovering from experiences of narcissistic abuse. The author explores the concept of narcissism, noting that it's been misunderstood for a long time. Narcissists often have complicated histories and can easily justify their actions. However, understanding high-conflict personalities like narcissists is crucial for effective communication. The author notes that while most people devote significant attention to understanding narcissists, they are not misunderstood. People carefully avoid offending them and tend to hide their emotions. They may relate to the narcissist's history, but still quickly become angry if they misjudge a request. Effective communication with high-conflict individuals requires a two-way approach, similar to a scientist analyzing a lab situation. However, egotistical individuals often lack interest in learning about others. Enablers often proclaim their desire to help misunderstood narcissists, yet they seldom invest time in understanding others outside of themselves. They want knowledge to come to them rather than actively seeking it. The author's message is not to absolve narcissistic individuals of accountability for their actions. Rather than letting them get away with it and maintaining their childlike fantasies about life, love, and redemption, they should be held to behavioral standards. Narcissism frequently manifests as a sign of a more complicated combination of issues, including ego fragility, inferiority complexes, dysregulation, and a lack of ability to engage in self-reflection. Although narcissists may be misunderstood, this does not excuse their actions. The subject needs to be understood, but narcissists shouldn't bother if they don't want to waste their time trying to explain it. Enablers are a group that often fails to fully comprehend the situation. Therefore, it's not necessary to engage in further participation once there's a firm grasp of the subject. The author appreciates the reader's attention.